Hi, I'm Stavros and welcome to Limerick. I'm here at Car Interior Styling Auto Upholstery Repairs. And we're here to look at this interior of this Porsche. It's getting a total revamp. And here to speak more about this process is Martin Krol from Flashpoint Leather Repairs. Martin, how are things this morning?
Not bad, Stavros. How are you today?
Not so bad. Thanks for having me. Now, Martin, you're going to revamp this whole interior, give it a whole new look for its owner.
We're doing everything.
Yeah.
Now,
this is a 1984 Porsche 911 SC.
Targa. That's right.
Yeah.
And as you can see, the car is in impeccable condition.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of work done to it, exterior and mechanically. And now the owner decided to bring the interior up to standard.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we'll be doing everything.
Yeah.
From floor carpeting to door cards, handles, most of the knobs and buttons will be done as well. But I can walk you through it and show you exactly what we'll be doing.
Now, just to remind you, Martin is not doing any work to the exterior. This is all just interior revamp. So great, we'll walk around and have a look at that, Martin.
Yeah. As you can see, the interior of this car is two-tone brown and black. What we'll be doing is re-dyeing everything that's brown to black and reapplying a clear coat finish to all the black bits to make them look nice and fresh again. All the carpets are going out, and it will be replaced with new carpeting, which will be manufactured by us here on site. The two front seats are being replaced with black ones. The back couch is going to be re-dyed black. The dashboard, again, the brown parts will be re-dyed black, and the black parts will be recoated just to freshen them up. Now the steering wheel is absolutely impeccable, so it'll just get cleaned up and tidied up, and that's about it.
And Martin, the door side here just has a small couple of holes on it.
These holes, well, there used to be door pockets here, right? Those holes are from the screws that obviously held the door pocket in place. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to fill these, level them down, so what's left is a smooth surface because those door pockets aren't coming back, right? They were removed by one of the previous owners, and the current owner isn't going to put them back. He just wants to keep the originality of the door cards while changing the color to black.
So everything that's black is going to be resprayed, Martin. Door handles, the panel on the dashboard.
Well, obviously, there is no point in spraying black, right? What we're going to do is we're going to clean them up and apply a transparent layer to protect them, to keep them looking black, to keep them looking nice and fresh.
Yes.
It's kind of like spraying a car, right? If the clear coat is only damaged in a few areas, like, you don't have to respray the car black. All you have to do is reapply the clear coat. It's essentially the same process. Another thing worth mentioning is that we will not be re-dyeing the central console. What's going to happen here is that we'll be removing it. The area underneath will be covered with the new carpeting. This rubber is being thrown out, and we'll replace it with a nice leather pocket that will be held down by the new carpeting. And once it's done, it should look lovely. So as you can see, there's a lot of work involved. So let's get to it.
that's where I will leave Martin for today. A lot of work to do on this 911, and I'll be back in a couple of days to see how work is progressing. So it's now been 2 days since we were speaking with Martin about the Porsche 911 SC's interior revamp. So Martin, 2 days on, how is work progressing?
Pretty good, Stavros. As you can see, we have the car completely stripped out. There were a few unforeseen difficulties along the way, mainly the dashboard, which required us to remove the windscreen.
Ooh.
Yeah. Also,
and that was because of some screws you couldn't access.
yeah. Well, there was quite a few screws that we couldn't access. Another thing is that there's a range of clips there that we would have to break otherwise, and obviously we didn't want to do that. Another unforeseen difficulty was that the dashboard, more specifically the top part of the dashboard, is held in by 5 bolts, which can be only accessed through the boot area, which is underneath the bonnet. And obviously there's a lot of air conditioning piping in the way as well, so it was something we didn't plan for. And as it is, we have 12 hours put into stripping the car. But as you can see, it's coming along quite nicely. We have all the interior elements are stripped out at various stages of prepping, painting, clear coating. As you can see, the 2 front seats have been completely revamped.
And these 2 seats came out of a second-hand Porsche.
Yes, it came from a different Porsche, 911 SC as well, only a newer one. And they just suit the car better. They're a bit more sportier.
And you coated them, Martin, with your spray process.
Yeah, they have been completely stripped down to the bare leather, rejuvenated, primed, base coated, clear coated, to make them look nice and shiny again.
And the door cards, Martin, there was an issue with them.
Well, there was an issue with one of the door cards. As you can see, it's completely wrapped and rotten, for lack of a better word. We are going to manufacture new ones. We're gonna take one of these completely apart, draw out a blueprint, and have them laser cut to size, and then they're going to be recovered in a material of similar texture. Because as you know, we are going to be dyeing that material regardless of even if we're able to find a black that's very near to what I'm doing, they'll still be dyed. You know, we want 100% consistency on the interior.
And this particular door card was on the passenger side, Martin, which seemed to have got more damp than the driver's side.
The driver's side.
Probably because of all the puddles and...
Probably, yeah. I mean, let's face it, we are talking about a vintage car, so 30 years on, you do expect a little bit of wear and tear. And that's it, really. Everything else is going pretty straightforward. So as you can see, we still have quite a bit of work left on this 911. Join us in a few days when the car is ready to be collected.
So that's where I will leave Martin now for another few days to continue his work on the Porsche 911. So as he was saying, a couple of unforeseen issues there with the windscreen having to be taken out to gain access to those screws that hold in the dashboard. And of course the door cards all rotten at the bottom as well, which will also have to be replaced. So I will call back in another few days and see how Martin is getting on. It's now been 1 week since I was with Martin looking at the Porsche 911. Looking forward now to going inside and seeing the interior all finished. So I'm back here now at Flashpoint and I'm joined by Martin. Martin, you are finished the Porsche.
Yes, Stavros, it's been 8 days, start to finish. The car is ready. It's being picked up in about an hour. So, yeah, it's time for the big reveal.
I'm looking forward to this. Let's have a look.
So here we are, the finished project, complete interior revamp.
A lot of work, Martin.
A lot of work, 8 days start to finish. As you can see, all the brown bits are black, right?
Yeah.
Now, we spoke about this earlier. The door cards had to be made new. Good news is we have everything templated now, so if your classic 911 needs a new door card, give us a call. But apart from that, everything. If you remember, this was brown. It's now a nice shade of black. It's actually called carbon black.
And Martin, you filled in those holes. Remember, there was holes here where the door pocket used to be.
Well, yeah, but the door card is new.
Oh yes.
So there wouldn't be any unnecessary holes because we only made the ones that were completely necessary to keep the door card affixed.
All right.
Let's go in the back here a little bit. It might not look like much, but the back here is actually quite complicated. The parcel shelf is made from soft touch plastic, as it's sometimes called. When what it is, it's actually foam covered in vinyl, so it's perfectly flexible. All the side panels are separate pieces. Also, there is no back couch. It's literally 4 separate cushions that make up 2 seats. Now, the front seats are actually from a newer 911. I believe they're from an 84, and they're electric. Now, this car doesn't have the connectors, so these don't work at the moment. But I'm quite sure something can be retrofitted to make them work again. As you remember, this was all brown, and obviously the top of the dashboard was brown. And we did have to take out the windscreen, and it was really a lot of work to get this removed and then fitted back in. These lower panels, there weren't such an issue to remove. There is access from the back to the screws, but still, you only have about yay much to work with. Central console had been removed per owner's request. I think it just opens up the car a little bit. It isn't a big car, so anything that's unnecessary would just cramp it up.
And Martin, when you were taking out the windscreen, the base of the windscreen had rust on it. That was treated.
That was treated. I have pictures, and it's been filled in. As you can see, there's a little bit of sealant coming out here, right? But the trick about this particular sealant, now kudos to Mike, my windscreen guy, because what he did is he put in flexible sealant there. It's not a window seal that goes hard over time. It's always flexible. It's always wet. Now, there's a reason for that. Being an open top, the A-pillars and all the surround of the windscreen is constantly in motion. It works constantly. So if you put in a hard seal, what you're effectively doing is putting unnecessary strain on the windscreen, right? Which will crack over time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Yeah. So by putting in the flexible seal, we're preventing, we're not preventing it 100%, but we are taking off unnecessary strain from the windscreen. So, it's those little things, that matter when you're working on a classic like this.
And the carpet is quite good quality, Martin.
It's good quality carpeting. The difficulty in doing 911s is that all the bits are pipe stitched around. That just adds more to the complexity and time. I believe there's 19 separate pieces of carpeting that make up the floor of a 911.
Wow.
For instance, most new cars will have one.
Right. It's looking absolutely fantastic now.
It is looking very good. I'm keen to see what the owner's reaction is. Steering wheel didn't need any work at all. We just tidied it up, cleaned it up, put some conditioner on it, and yeah, ready. Interesting fact, that's a Momo.
A Momo steering
A
wheel.
Momo steering wheel.
Did you notice that when you took it off, or?
No. It looked familiar and it felt familiar. So what I did, right, is I looked at the back, and the model number of that steering wheel is KBA 70111. The model of the steering wheel in my Subaru, which is a Momo, is KBA 70116.
So, an interesting fact there.
Interesting fact, yeah. Surprisingly enough, Porsche didn't let Momo brand its steering wheel. Like in a Subaru, it will say Momo right on the front of it.
Yeah.
Whereas on this one, even though it is obviously a Momo, it doesn't say Momo on any part that can be seen, which is interesting enough.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, Subaru must be buying those steering wheels in the hundreds of thousands. How many will Porsche buy? 1,000? So it only goes to show you how different some of the relationships are between manufacturers in the motor business.
But this came out absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
man.
I'm quite pleased with the way it came out.
So that's where I will leave Martin this weekend. A fantastic interior transformation on that 1984 Porsche 911 SC. It really did come out fantastic. So thank you all very much for watching. And you can contact Martin here at the Enterprise Centre on the Childers Road in Limerick. And he's contactable on 087 435 2094. Or you can call Vitaly, and he's contactable on the number there behind me. So I will leave you there. Have yourselves a lovely Easter weekend, and I will talk to you again very soon. Cheers.